You are now listening to a brand new episode of Starfleet Escape Podcast, only on the Four-Eyed Radio Network, also known as the FUN!
Hey there, Eric here from Socially Awkward Studios, and this Four-Eyed Radio presentation is being proudly brought to you by Raven Designs, illustration and design that fit your personality. For samples and inquiries, visit ravencruise.com.
Starfleet Escape Podcast. Prepare for launch in 3, 2, 1. Enjoy the ride.
Hello and welcome to the Starfleet Escape Podcast on the Four-Eyed Radio Network, where we escape into the Star Trek universe. This is supplemental episode Yesteryear. This episode is being recorded on February 23rd, 2014. I'm Aaron.
And I'm Ashley.
For those of you who don't know, Ashley is my fiancée. This episode is brought to you by America Joy Print Shop, official sponsor of the Four-Eyed Radio Network. For high-quality business cards, flyers, banners, cut vinyl, and more, visit americajoy.com. Thank you for being with me today, Ashley.
Oh, no problemo.
So, have you ever watched an episode of the animated series? I forget.
No, I have not. I've only watched the original series and some of the, what is that?
You've seen some of the movies.
Yes, the movies. And I also watched some of, Captain Picard as well.
So Star Trek The Next Generation?
Yes.
Okay. So, you're kind of new to Star Trek, which hopefully this episode will give you a little bit more insight on Spock, because this episode takes place during Spock's youth.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something that you don't see during the original series. You kind of see a little bit of it in the original movie. Sorry, the Star Trek 2009 movie where he's little.
Oh, yes,
Beyond
yes.
that, this will be a new experience for you. Okay?
Yes, indeed.
Alright, so for those of you who are not familiar with our supplemental episodes, they are commentary tracks meant to be played alongside an episode of Star Trek. We are watching the episode Yesteryear from the animated series, and we're watching it on Netflix. So what we'll do is when we say play, you should press the play button on your DVD or your streaming video account to listen along. So I will count down from 3, and on play, press play. Alright, you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so 3, 2, 1, play. So it still has the monologue by Kirk.
Yes. I noticed that, like, near the beginning, the ship moved so fast.
The music is a little different from the original TV show.
Right.
And
they do have the original voices?
Yep. The original cast members do voice their
own
characters.
character.
Yep.
Very nice. Very nice.
So this episode was written by D.C. Fontana. Okay, so this is, it looks like The Guardian on the Edge of Forever. which is from an episode of the original series, which I don't think you've seen.
Mm.
Oh, so this is our first indication that something's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So Kirk is still aware of who Spock is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Whoa, who's that guy?
So he's an Andorian.
Oh, I see. They kind of swapped places, just like in the other one of the other episodes that I've seen with you. Seems like.
Well, they didn't switch places. Spock doesn't exist on the Enterprise.
Oh, I see. Mm-hmm. What?
So as you can see, some point in time, Spock died.
What at 7?
I'm not quite sure about that bird alien.
Mm.
I don't know what he is.
So who's that lady?
A historian, I believe. So as you can see, he's kind of foreshadowing predestiny.
Mm-hmm.
So time travel in every series is a little different.
Mm-hmm.
There's always something unique.
Yeah.
What do you think of the character design?
It don't really. Well, Spock looks like Spock. Kirk doesn't really look like Kirk. He looks a little bit chubbier.
Time plane.
Wait a minute. What?
Beam down clothes. For Spock to wear. So I believe some of the places here mentioned in this episode are also mentioned in the Enterprise series. Star Trek Enterprise. It's cool to see flying cars.
Yes.
And this right here is reminiscent of Star Trek 2009.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, I remember.
I'm not quite sure if Vulcan gods are ever mentioned again. It's something to look
Right.
into. At least not in the current history of Vulcan. Maybe in the past gods, but further in the past. More reminiscent of Star Trek 2009.
Mm-hmm.
The clothing of Vulcan children is interesting in the animated series, but we have to keep in mind this was made during the 70s.
Right.
Interesting pet, huh?
Yes. It's like a bear kind of thing.
Subjective time. I don't think we ever hear that again either.
Right.
In any series. One thing that we've mentioned in our episode where we go over the animated series is that the director was colorblind. So different colors are kind of messed up. Like, that's where we get pink tribbles from. Is from the animated series. One thing you'll notice in the original series are these silhouette running figures. Vulcan neck pinch seems to work on many species.
I see. Looks like his animal is getting weaker by the minute.
Human women.
So what are you trying to say? I don't understand.
It's a good explanation right here on
Yes.
Vulcans.
Oh. his pet. Yes. Is dying. Little Spock is gonna get into some more trouble.
I don't know if those were ever named, those little alive viney things. I don't quite remember Vulcans having beards besides Sybok, Spock's half-brother.
Right.
Uh-oh.
Aww. I would say just release him. Very good, little Spock. Very good. Oh boy.
Peace out.
Yes.
And hopefully everything is back to normal. Let's see if they recognize him.
Mhm.
Alright.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, so that was the episode Yesteryear. One of the only episodes, well, I believe the only episode that is considered somewhat canon. And like we said during the episode, it let us in on some Vulcan heritage.
Yes.
The reasons why Vulcans are the way they are.
Right.
They have emotion, but they learn to control it.
Yes. Just like how it was in the 2009 movie.
Mm-hmm. Yep. There were a lot of parallels. I know the writers of the movie were fans of Star Trek to begin with, so I'm sure this was some source material that they took from, which is good. Alright, so thank you everyone for listening to our little commentary on Yesteryear. Next time we will have another regular episode for everyone to listen to. Thank you, Ashley, for joining me.
Oh, not a problem.
So for the Starfleet Escape podcast, I'm Aaron.
And I'm Ashley.
And we'll see you later.
Thank you.
You have been listening to the Starfleet Escape podcast on the Four-Eyed Radio Network, where you can catch a new episode every other Monday. You can find us on the web at sfescapepod.com. Follow us on Twitter at sfescapepod. Like us on Facebook.com/sfescapepod. And add us to your circle on Google Plus by going to google.sfescapepod.com.
This has been a proud production of the Four-Eyed Radio Network. Check out more shows on foureyedradio.com. Beam me up, Scotty.